Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about Black Templars and I want to talk about them fighting off against Chaos. When it comes to Chaos, you have a number of warbands, legions that they could square up against, and I'm just thinking for story-wise, what would be best for them? Of course, this is linked to the rumours that Black Templars will be getting paired with Chaos when it comes to the second stage of the Psychic Awakening. This is not fact, it's all rumours. This full video is a theoretical. We are going full ultramarine at the moment, but not too much because, you know, we want to win at the end of the day. So when it comes to the Black Templars, they are probably one of the biggest fan favourites on the tabletop. Their characters, their lore, their overall warfare, how they interact with other chapters is amazing. They have so much stuff about them which just attracts people. They attract me. I'm a massive Imperial Fist fan, and I can hands down say that they are more popular than Imperial Fist. Just look at them. Just the swords, the zeal, the fury, everything about it. They are incredible. So who would they be best fighting off against? There is a couple of things that jump to my mind straight away, and I think one of the ones that I would personally like to see straight off the bat would be Black Templars fighting the Sons of Lorgar, the Word Bearers, for a simple fact that both of these chapters are very devout. Now, it wasn't really always like that. Like the old Black Templar lore was a bit more crusaderish, but it wasn't very religious. I think that's changed over a couple of editions. But now the Black Templars more or less devote themselves to the worship of the Emperor. In some cases, for example, I'm trying to think of the book. I think it's called Crusaders of Dawn, if I'm not mistaken. It has a lot of short stories in. There's a story in there that has the Black Templars revering the Navigators, because the Navigators themselves are connected to the Emperor slash, you know, the warp kind of thing, and that is like their vessel towards the Emperor. So, you know, they kind of worship them and hold them in high regard. Whereas you think, you know, Emperors, Black Templars and Psychers and stuff, you probably wouldn't really think that, but that is the kind of shift I'm kind of on about. And with the way that could work with the Word Bearers, I think it could be very, very interesting, because imagine if the Word Bearers and the Black Templars squared off in like a narrative type of story, and the Black Templars like, for the Emperor, he is a god, and the Word Bearers would be like, I know he is a god. We were the first ones to declare him as a god, and look what you did to us. Look what happened to us. Look at the censure we received, etc., etc. We wrote the Legio Divitatis and stuff like that, and look what happened. The Black Templar like, wait, what? Excuse me now? I think it would make a very, very interesting showdown. Probably not battle-wise, because I know the Word Bearers have some cool fighters and stuff, but when it comes to the Templars, they would probably just run over them and slash them all and chop all the heads off and stuff like that, because the Black Templars are a boss when it comes to battlefield battling, if that is in the probably correct right words to use. And of course, if you did have the Word Bearers, there's the potential of bringing a Primarch back into this situation as well with Lorgar. It'd be really, really cool for Lorgar to just like talk down to Helbrecht to say, you don't even know the truth. I understand the truth. You know nothing about anything. I think that could be a quite little good thing. And I do know a lot of people actually want Lorgar to come back into the lore as well. Again, story-wise, I think it would make a lot of sense for him to come back, because him seeing the Imperium as it is of now. We know that Lorgar's basically been in this meditation slash trance for, you know, a couple thousand of years. I think it's been like past 5,000 plus years, if I'm not mistaken. So for him to come back and see the state of the Imperium, to see it, you know, devoted to the Emperor, and, you know, seeing the Emperor as a god, I think it'd be kind of funny to see his reaction towards that scenario. But of course, this is not a Primarch video, but then again, every video is potentially a Primarch video with me, so who knows? So going on to the next one, for me personally, I think the coolest one when it comes to battling would be the Black Templars versus the World Eaters, for a couple of reasons. The one massive reason would probably be, if you did have World Eaters, then that would mean new World Eater models. I know there's a lot of World Eater fans out there who are just dying for like new Berserkers, upgrade kits, just new models in general, chain axes, you know, chains, all the cool stuff that you expect when you think of World Eaters. That's what the World Eater fans want. I've stated many times that if I was to do a Chaos Force, it actually would be the World Eaters, because I have a lot of sympathy for the World Eaters. You know, their downfall and stuff like that, led astray by bloody angry Ron, and you know, who just didn't really care about him. They didn't really have a Primarch who cared about him like all the other legions. So yeah, it's kind of a sad fall from grace. But when it comes to the 40k and Black Templars fighting the World Eaters, I think they're evenly matched when it comes to combat. Of course, it would be a melee fest galore, and that is what I love. A lot of people always say to me, why is there even melee in, like Warhammer 40,000, when you got bolt guns and you got las cannons and you got plasma guns? You know, it doesn't really make sense. And I always respond to them because it's cool. It's the rule of cool. It's awesome. Why wouldn't you want a chainsaw that can cut through ceramite armor? Why wouldn't you want a power sword, a thunder hammer, you know, chain axes, and you know, it's all awesome. It's all amazing, and I absolutely love melee in 40k. I think it's one of the best aspects of it. It shows the brutal combat that Marines can do against each other. It's just so close, and it's just right in your face, chopping your head off, chopping your arms off, legs off, you know, ripping your chest apart. It's one of those awesome feelings, like when you get your guys into melee and they just start smashing everything around him. It's a great feeling. I think it would make an incredible box set. If there's one thing I've stated numerous times on streaming and different videos, is that I would love Primaris to get the Sword Brethren treatment when it comes to Black Templars. I know balance-wise, you probably have to do a couple of things, because of course, you know, 2 wounds, maybe points increase or something like that. But just to see the models of having, not even like, maybe just like an upgrade kit, so you can just make your own, you know, Primaris into it. You know, not like we've seen with like the Imperial Fist and the Raven Guard stuff, where they get the shoulder pads, maybe something like that, but more expanded with like robes, different chest pieces. Do you remember the old Black Templar kit that we had? Upgrade kit, which you can only buy on the GW store now. Something like that, but more Primaris-fied, so it fits like the newer models and stuff. I would love something just to have that kind of character when it came to the Primaris line for Templars, because Templars are a very characteristic chapter. You have to really show them off with their robes and their, you know, their chains and the rule of cool stuff. Of course, you can kit bash stuff, but I would always love to have something official from GW as well. And of course, as I've mentioned, on the other side, plastic corn berserkers, and you know, maybe you know, a new HQ choice or something like that could be just an incredible option for Black Templars and the World Eater fans. Now, if you've read the Black Legion series by Aaron Dembski-Bowden, which is basically set with Abaddon coming out of the Eye of Terror and launching himself onto the galaxy, fantastic series. You could argue that the Black Templars and the Black Legion potentially have a bit of history with each other. And what I mean by that is that when the Black Legion first came out of the Eye of Terror to launch themselves upon the galaxy, it was Sigismund and a small fleet of his which engaged the Black Legion. And on board a ship, it wasn't the Eternal Crusader, if I remember correctly, it wasn't that. I think it was somewhere else, the Eternal Crusader. Basically, Sigismund and Abaddon fought. Sigismund at this time was, of course, an old man. I think he was like over 1,000 years old. Like he was really old. He was very slow than he normally was. You know, Sigismund, if you've read about him in the Horus Heresy, was just a beast, too fast, cutting down people left, right. I can't wait to see him at the Siege of Terror. I think he's just going to be amazing. Long story short, Abaddon ended up killing Sigismund, but of course Sigismund actually nearly killed Abaddon. I think if Sigismund was in his prime, Abaddon wouldn't even be here at the moment, because Sigismund is just a beast. So you can argue that the Black Legion have a lot of history with the Black Templars, and that could really set up for a box set and a potential new story. You know, Abaddon versus the Black Templars once more. The Black Templars enraged that this was the guy that, you know, slew their founder of the chapter, slew the last crusading son of Rogel Dawn, let's say. I know the Black Templars are the crusading sons of Dawn, but he was like the crusader. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a scene in the book where the Psyker is looking at Sigismund, and there's just the light coming from him is so immense. It's just like pure crusading vengeance of Sigismund. That is how pure and awesome Sigismund was. So I think it'd be cool for them to revisit that kind of vengeance story-esque arc. I don't know if Abaddon should really show up again, because if Abaddon does show up, will Helbrecht really go against him? Could Helbrecht withstand Abaddon? I don't think so. Again, I've stated this numerous times before. I think the only person that can go against Abaddon is a Primarch-esque figure, because with the power Abaddon has, his sword and stuff, and the chaos giving him a little tingle here and there. I don't think our normal Astartes could actually go against him now. Even if Sigismund came back in his prime at this moment in time, I think he would have a hard chance fighting him, because Abaddon is just on a whole different level. Maybe they could include maybe one of Abaddon's right hand men, one of he really trusted, and have him in the box set. Maybe have some new Space Marine characters in there, new Space Marine models in there. I don't think they'd potentially do that, since Chaos have just had a big launch, but maybe they've been holding something back, like for when Primaris had their launch, and we had Shadow Spear coming out, and of course everything that's been happening lately with the Primaris. So it's potentially they could do something like that. Who bloody knows? But I think it would make a really, really cool story. I think it would be pretty awesome. When it comes to other chapters, warbands and stuff like that, what I mean by other, I say chapters, other legions and stuff. So Death Guard, I don't really see them in the limelight in this box set, because Death Guard have had a lot. It's the same with Tzeentch, Thousand Sons. I don't really see them in this whole thing. I know the Black Templars, you can argue, a Boar the Witch, and they hate the kind of psychic stuff, but I'd rather have Thousand Sons paired off against Space Wolves, because I think that's their good match. And Death Guard, they've been doing a lot with the Ultramarines lately, fighting Gilliman and stuff, so I think they've had their limelight as well. I would definitely rather have the World Eaters, but of course one of the other big ones is Slaanesh. Slaanesh is very, very big in the Psychic Awakening, potentially at the moment, because you can argue with the Eldar, the Rise of the Phoenix and stuff. A lot of people are taking what is the Rise of the Phoenix? Is it a Phoenix Lord? Is it Fulgrim? Is it multiple things? I know there's so much out there which everyone's playing at, and everyone's just having a little bit of fun, just making threads about it, and just having fun talking, which is always awesome. But if the Emperor's Children were to come out in full force, I think that could be pretty cool against the Black Templars. Story wise, yes, they won't really have anything to. Well, I personally think they won't have anything coolness compared to Lorgar, the Black Legion, or the World Eaters. But on a model basis, of course, then it could be really, really great, because new Noise Marines, and of course there's always a potential of new character models like Lucius the Eternal. Where's he been? That guy needs a model more than anyone else needs a model at the moment on Chaos. His model is so old. Back in the day, it was cool, but now comparing to new stuff, it just doesn't match up. So maybe they can do a box set, had him in there, and of course then you have the potential of Fulgrim hippity hoppity back onto the screen. Hey everyone, Snake Boy's back here, and that could be a pretty cool setup for their legion. Slaanesh demons and everything that goes with Slaanesh and stuff like that when it comes to 40k. I personally think that could be a pretty cool setup. But story wise, Black Legion, World Eaters, or Word Bearers for me. Alright, Chaperonios, that is me done for another video. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching. Of course, just to reiterate, this is just a theoretical. There's nothing in this at all. It's just me talking, having some fun, and hopefully you share your fun in the comment section. What would you like the Black Templars to fight against if they were to fight against a Chaos faction? Maybe it's Night Lords. I didn't even mention Night Lords, to be fair, but then again, Night Lords don't really have Night Lords kind of have a connection to the Imperial Fist, because Conrad Kerr's doing the sneak attack on Rogel Dawn. Absolute coward, and scratching his throat a little bit, but really nothing in there for the actual Black Templars themselves. Again, post it all down below. We can have a nice little talk about it down there, and yeah, we'll just carry on down there. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you now. Have a great day, and bye bye.